The chaos began when a video spread like wildfire across social media that evening. It showed my daughter in a confrontation with actress Naomi's son at their kindergarten. Within hours, it became the top trending topic, with people rushing to judge without knowing the full story. The internet exploded with harsh comments about my wild daughter and accusations that I was taking revenge on Naomi's son because I couldn't win her heart. They even brought up old stories, including that infamous incident where Naomi and I had a heated argument that ended with me slapping her. The situation got more complicated when Damien, the man rumored to be dating Naomi, jumped into the fray. He made a big show of defending the Naomi family's honor, claiming their precious Theo was just a scared little boy who had been crying for his daddy after a nightmare. The Naomi family, known for their power and influence, was expected to respond harshly. But here's what nobody knew. When little Theo called for daddy, he was actually calling for me. Just last night, Naomi herself had been at my doorstep, on her knees, begging me to consider remarrying her. I was trying to comfort my daughter to sleep when my agent burst through my door, panic written all over his face. "Princess Ethan's daughter is in huge trouble," he exclaimed, urging me to check the news. The viral video showed my little girl looking fierce as she pinned down a boy at Eric Kindergarten. She had him pressed against a sofa, twisting his ear while giving him what seemed like a serious lecture. Throughout my career in entertainment, I've always kept a low profile. I focused on my craft, avoided unnecessary drama, and built a reputation as a serious actor. Usually, a playground scuffle wouldn't cause such an uproar, but this wasn't just any child. This was Naomi's son. Everyone in the industry knows Naomi isn't just another award-winning actress. She's the eldest daughter of the powerful Naomi family, making her untouchable in many ways. The public's reaction was swift and harsh. In their eyes, my daughter attacking Naomi's son was like watching someone throw stones at royalty. They started digging into my past, spreading stories about how I was a troublemaker in high school who bullied classmates. The irony? The boy's father was actually the crown prince of the Ethan family, a fact that made people even more afraid to get involved. As the scandal grew, the media began uncovering more secrets. They revealed Naomi's hidden marriage to the Ethan family's crown prince, though they dared not dig too deep into the Ethan family's affairs. The crown prince remained a mystery, but that didn't stop both the public and the entertainment industry from turning against me. The most dramatic response came from Damien, known in the industry for playing innocent while being quite calculating. He posted a carefully staged photo of himself looking distressed in an expensive setting, with red-rimmed eyes. His message was clear. Nobody messes with the Naomi family. Poor little Theo was just frightened by a nightmare. It breaks my heart to hear him calling for daddy. Naomi won't let this incident go unpunished. Things are getting crazy. Did you catch how Damien just claimed to be part of the Ethan family? But wait, something's not adding up here. Why does little Theo keep running to Ethan instead of Damien? And those looks between Ethan and actress Naomi? There's definitely a bigger story there. Want to know the real truth about who's lying and who's telling the truth? Trust me, what happens next at the Ethan Manor will blow your mind. We're talking shocking family secrets, unexpected twists, and a reveal that nobody saw coming. Remember how Theo called for his daddy earlier? Well, let's just say the real identity of his father is about to turn this whole story upside down, and those beautiful Juliet roses being delivered to the manor, they're not for who you think they're for. If you're loving all this drama and want to find out what happens next, hit that like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe to catch all our upcoming episodes. We've got more shocking family stories coming your way. Share this video with your friends who love a good plot twist. They'll thank you later. The truth about the real Ethan Crown Prince is about to come out, and trust me, it's not what anyone expected. Stay tuned to see Damien's perfect plan completely fall apart in the most unexpected way. The internet was buzzing with speculation when people recognized the luxurious backdrop in Damien's photo as the prestigious Ethan family estate. Everyone jumped to the conclusion that he must be Naomi's legitimate husband, Theo's real father, and the mysterious crown prince of the Ethan family. His post exploded with support, gathering over 1 million likes within hours. When questioned, Damien played it perfectly, saying, "Please focus on my work, not my personal life. I've never needed family connections to succeed." Though he didn't directly confirm anything, his careful choice of words led people to believe their assumptions were correct. This kind of manipulation didn't surprise me. After all, I'd been handling power plays since I was 20, when I took control of my family's empire. I could appreciate Damien's clever strategy. He was using this situation to boost his popularity while subtly undermining me. It was a masterful move, I'll give him that. There was just one small problem. He was playing with the wrong pieces. The daddy Theo had called for wasn't him, it was me. And Naomi, the woman everyone thought was his wife, had been at my door last night, begging me to take her back. You see, I am Ethan, the true crown prince of the Ethan family. Our family and the Naomis have been rivals for generations. Growing up, Naomi and I were like oil and water, sworn enemies from the moment we could walk. We'd go to ridiculous lengths to avoid each other at social events. The hatred was so intense that we'd rather go thirsty than drink from the same water fountain. But life has a funny way of turning things upside down. Years ago, one of our heated arguments took an unexpected turn, leading us to the bedroom. One night changed everything. Naomi became pregnant with twins. We had a secret wedding, and she gave birth to our daughter Bella and son Theo. After our divorce, we split the twins. I took Bella while Theo stayed with his mother. Today's kindergarten drama wasn't what it seemed. The truth? My son was being a bully, making a little girl cry and refusing to apologize. Bella, seeing this, stepped in to teach her brother a lesson. When she pinned him down, Theo threatened, "I'm telling Daddy." A nearby paparazzo caught this moment, but twisted it into a story about my daughter terrorizing poor innocent Theo. While this drama was unfolding, someone released another video that made things worse. It showed Naomi in a stunning red dress, looking enchanting in the dim light, trying to talk to me. In the video, I appeared annoyed, laughed coldly, and seemed to slap her. This sparked even more outrage. Everyone assumed Naomi had confronted me about our children's fight, only to be met with violence. My social media was flooded with angry messages from Naomi's supporters. My name was being dragged through the mud across every platform. But here's the real story. I never hit her. I had raised my hand to help her swat away a persistent fly. If that paparazzo had stuck around for another 30 minutes, they would have captured a very different scene. Naomi on her knees, tears streaming down her face, pleading with me to give our marriage another chance. As the storm of negative publicity raged on, my manager Ivy let out a deep sigh and made an unexpected decision. She accepted an offer for us to appear on a father-child reality show. Perhaps it was time to let the world see the truth about our complicated family. "The internet hates you right now," Ivy said, "but we can turn this around. Let's make some money before everything falls apart." I just gave her a knowing look. "I'll only do it if Damien and Theo are part of the show." Ivy nearly fell out of her chair. "Are you out of your mind?" I just smiled, saying nothing. Of course I wasn't crazy. I'd done my homework on who Damien really was. The reality show began with a live broadcast. As I helped my daughter out of our car, I spotted Damien already there, standing with a clearly unhappy Theo. Damien was playing his part perfectly, smiling warmly for the cameras. The internet was eating it up, praising him as the perfect father figure and a worthy member of the Ethan family. After all, he'd cleverly led everyone to believe he was both the Ethan crown prince and Naomi's rightful husband. Social media couldn't stop gushing about how he represented the ideal modern man. When he saw me approaching, Damien's smile turned to a frown. "Ethan, your daughter needs to apologize to Theo publicly. She bullied him." Theo, upon seeing me, puffed up like an angry little bird. I sighed, thinking about how spoiled he'd become. but this was a perfect teaching moment. "Bella," I said calmly, "tell everyone why you confronted Theo." Without hesitation, she explained how Theo had grabbed another girl's toy and made her cry. Theo panicked and rushed forward, snatching his sister's cream puff. "Sister, stop talking," he demanded. My expression hardened as I took hold of Theo's arm. "Who taught you to steal from your sister? Apologize now." Damien jumped in, horrified. "Ethan, stop! You can't touch Theo." The internet exploded with outrage. "Look at Ethan attacking a child in broad daylight. First he hit the actress, now her son. Has he lost his mind? How dare he make Theo apologize? And his daughter doesn't deserve to call Theo brother. Crown Prince Ethan needs to stop this man. Aw, look how protective Damien is of Theo. That's real fatherly love." Damien tried to shield Theo, but to his surprise, the boy shoved him away. "What are you doing, Uncle? Who do you think you are?" I spoke firmly. "Theo, who taught you to speak so disrespectfully? Where are your manners?" Tears welling up, Theo glared at me before running away, shouting dramatically, "Uncle Wrenshin, I'll never forgive you." I had to hold back a laugh. This kid had clearly been watching too many soap operas. Damien's voice turned icy. "Ethan, you're truly despicable. First Naomi, now Theo. Do you think you can bully both the Naomi and Ethan families?" I couldn't help but laugh. "I hear you're claiming to be the Ethan Crown Prince? Funny, I recently met the real Crown Prince, and he's nothing like you." My words hit their mark. Damien's face went white for a moment before he forced a confident smile. "Oh, really, Ethan? You're saying you met the Crown Prince?" "Our family is far too important to waste time on people like you," Damien declared with practiced arrogance. The online audience ate it up. "Such class," some wrote. "That's how real nobility acts," others chimed in. "High-status people don't mix with commoners." Watching him play his role, knowing his true identity, I couldn't help but smile. "That manor in your photo," I asked casually, "that's the Ethan family estate?" Damien nodded confidently. "Yes, our largest property in Sky City." Just then, Bella came running over excitedly. "Daddy, can we go there? Let's visit the manor." I quickly covered her mouth before she could mention Great Black, my enormous dog that she loved riding through the manor's gardens. Damien's eyes lit up when he saw me silence Bella, thinking he'd caught me in something suspicious. "Ethan, that's no way to treat a child," he said with fake concern. "Every little girl has a tender heart. Isn't that right, Bella? I promise we'll tour the manor together." He mentioned that Theo was homesick too, then made a show of arranging things with his phone. Turning to the crew, he announced, "I've set up our next shoot at the Ethan Manor." The production team could barely contain their excitement. After all, the Ethan Manor was legendary. Not just anyone could walk through those gates. The guests were thrilled, showering Damien with praise. Within 30 minutes, the manor was trending online. Everyone was buzzing about finally seeing this mysterious place. While Damien basked in the attention, I stood quietly in the corner, thinking to myself, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. Sure, Damien could get into the manor, but once inside, he'd lose all control. That was tomorrow's problem, though. For now, we all settled into the villa for the night. In the living room, I found Theo sitting on the sofa, clearly in a mood. Instead of coddling him, I headed to the kitchen to make dessert. Bella helped eagerly, while Theo sat there like a little emperor, not lifting a finger. I finished making mango pudding and served it to Bella. "Here you go, sweetie. Enjoy." Theo's head snapped up immediately. "Where's mine?" he demanded. I kept my voice steady. "Only children who help adults get dessert." Theo's lower lip jutted out. "At Grandma's house, I never have to help with anything." "Well, this isn't Grandma's house," I said firmly. "Here, we earn our treats by being helpful." The boy, thoroughly spoiled by the Naomi family, wasn't used to hearing no. In a fit of rage, he kicked a chair and knocked the pudding from Bella's hands, sending it splashing across the floor. That was the last straw. This complete lack of manners and waste of food was unacceptable. Without hesitation, I picked Theo up and gave him a spanking. The live stream chat exploded. Ethan's lost his mind. Does he have a death wish? Doesn't he know who Theo's father is? He must be suicidal, coming on this show just to dig his own grave. The internet erupted as Damien burst into the room. Ethan, stop this immediately. How dare you hit Theo? I'm calling the police. He lunged forward to grab Theo, but to everyone's surprise, the crying boy pulled away from him. Instead, Theo clung to my clothes, burying his tear-stained face against me. Uncle hurt me, Theo sobbed dramatically. I want to be torn apart and stay with Uncle for 3 months to heal. Uncle has to sleep with me while Ethan Bella goes to Grandma's. I want to switch places with her. His words stopped Damien in his tracks. The online audience was stunned. Comments flooded in. What's happening? Is the kid delirious from the spanking? Did I hear that right about Ethan Bella being from the Ethan family? Damien seemed to miss this revelation completely. After a moment of confusion, he pulled out his phone and dialed a number. The phone rang several times before a familiar sultry voice answered, actress Naomi herself. The internet went wild. Wow, Damien really knows how to create drama. Power couple goals. Damien shot me a triumphant look. I'm busy. Naomi's cold voice cut through the speaker. Damien quickly explained, I'm here with Theo on the show, and this actor Ethan just hit him. He's still crying. Naomi interrupted sharply. Damien, give the phone to Ethan. Damien's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. Ethan, choose your next words carefully. I took the phone lazily. What's up? There was a rustling of papers, then Naomi's cold laugh. I've seen the news. Looks like you didn't take my warning seriously. I remembered her trying to force a kiss on me that night before I pushed her away, how she demanded I stop having dinner with other women. Just 2 days ago, the media had caught me dining with a female colleague, sparking rumors of a midnight romance. I sighed, thinking how this divorced woman still tried to control my life. You're right, I laughed. I really don't care. I could almost hear Naomi grinding her teeth before she let out a light laugh. Just wait and see how I handle you. What nobody expected was that according to the show's rules, all phone calls were broadcast live. Social media exploded again. Actress Naomi's going to teach Ethan a lesson. She needs to be ruthless. With Damien being the Ethan Crown Prince, getting Ethan banned should be easy. But some viewers picked up on something else. Is it just me, or does that conversation sound intimate? They're talking like ex-lovers or something. Others quickly shut down such speculation. Don't be ridiculous. Actress Naomi is Damien's wife. Damien put on his best righteous face, though his eyes sparkled with satisfaction. Ethan mistreated our Theo. His mother won't let this slide. I simply shrugged. As you wish. Taking my well-behaved daughter's hand, I turned to leave. Theo suddenly shouted, No! Wait for me! When that didn't work, he angrily stamped his feet. I continued walking, not giving him a second glance. Something interesting happened then. After sulking for a few moments, Theo grabbed a tissue and started cleaning up the spilled pudding. Damien panicked, rushing to stop him. Theo, don't be afraid. You shouldn't have to do such menial work. But as he watched me leading Bella upstairs, Theo became agitated. He tried to push Damien away, growing increasingly frustrated when he couldn't break free. Finally, the boy exploded. Who do you think you are? You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. The words hit Damien like a slap. His face went white, his body frozen. Everyone in the room was stunned. If Damien wasn't Theo's father, then he couldn't be the Ethan Crown Prince either. The live chat exploded. What did we just hear? But Damien was just on the phone with actress Naomi, acting like Theo's father. Kids don't lie when they're angry. Is there more to this story? Some viewers began questioning whether Damien was lying about his identity. I could see the panic beginning to set in as Damien bowed his head, eyes closed, probably planning his next move. I quickly typed out a message, and right on cue, Damien's phone rang. He made sure everyone could see the caller ID. Leonard, the Ethan family's sixth uncle. Damien smiled confidently at the camera before answering. Leonard's excited voice boomed through the speaker. "Damien, huge news. I just heard the Crown Prince is coming to the manor tomorrow. He messaged saying he wants to meet you." Damien's eyes lit up with calculated enthusiasm. "Really? Big Brother is back? This is perfect. Now that he's in control of the Ethan family, this is our chance. We must convince him to let us take the Ethan name." Before Leonard could finish, Damien cut in smoothly. "Yes, Father, don't worry. I'll talk to Big Brother. It's been so long. I miss him." I had to hold back a laugh. Had Damien and I ever met at any Ethan family gathering? Definitely not. Sixth uncle barely had any influence in the family. He could hardly get an audience with me himself, let alone his supposed son. After hanging up, Damien took a dramatic pause before addressing the camera. "Everyone online has been speculating about whether I'm the Ethan Crown Prince. I've stayed quiet to help my older brother manage public opinion, not to deceive anyone," Damien declared solemnly. "I am a legitimate son of the Ethan family. Don't let ill-intentioned people mislead you." His words sounded rehearsed, designed to make people believe someone had hired trolls to smear his reputation. Right on cue, the internet turned against me, flooding the comments with insults. I had to admire Damien's nerve. This was exactly how he'd climbed to his current position. Instead of getting angry, I just smiled. "Tell me, Damien, if you're from the Ethan family, why do you carry the Chu surname?" He sighed dramatically. "That's a private family matter. I can't discuss it with outsiders like you." His fake humility only made the online attacks worse. The comments were brutal. How dare he question Ethan family business? Know your place. This brother's story is so moving. The Crown Prince must love him. Can't wait to see Ethan's downfall tomorrow when actress Naomi and the Crown Prince team up against him. But a few sharp-eyed viewers noticed something odd. Wasn't Damien basically saying he was the Crown Prince before? Now he's backtracking? Anyone else notice how Theo clings to Ethan like he's his father? These rational observations were quickly drowned out by the mob waiting for tomorrow's drama, eager to see me punished when the real Crown Prince appeared. Damien was so excited he spent all night practicing his lines. "Eldest brother, hello, I'm sixth uncle's son, your cousin." No wonder I had a bad feeling about this whole situation. The next morning, we all headed to the Ethan Manor. Even the cynical crew members were awestruck. The place was truly magnificent. "They say Ethan spent billions building this for his wife," someone whispered. "A father so in love with his wife, he built all this for my mother." The internet collectively swooned. Just then, trucks loaded with Juliet roses arrived at the gate. Damien stopped a servant to ask about them and learned they were air-freighted by Naomi as a gift for someone special arriving today. The online audience was ecstatic, assuming the flowers were for Damien. "How romantic," they gushed. "Well, actress Naomi and the Crown Prince are divorced, so it makes sense she'd move on to Damien. Marriage is a personal choice, and Damien clearly has a blood connection to Theo. He'll be a great stepfather." "Please stop speculating," Damien said modestly to the camera. "Though Naomi and I grew up together, she was my sister-in-law. Love depends on fate, and I'm patient." His boldness wasn't surprising. He'd probably heard through his father about my marriage to Naomi being arranged for the children, not love. He must have heard about our arguments, too. No doubt he dreamed of winning over Naomi's mother's favor to marry into the powerful Naomi family. "Where's Ethan?" someone suddenly asked. "Haven't seen him around." The internet erupted with laughter. He must have run away scared. What happened to yesterday's arrogance? Can't wait to see his downfall. Just then, a figure appeared through the side entrance. Leonard, the Ethan family's sixth uncle. Damien rushed forward eagerly. "Father, I've missed home so much." Leonard frowned. "The Crown Prince just arrived. Haven't you met him yet?" Damien looked startled. "No, we've been waiting at the gate. How could we have missed eldest brother?" "The boy just went inside," Leonard said, looking confused. Then his expression turned serious. "The Crown Prince seems to be in a foul mood. He's in the auxiliary hall. What are you doing, still standing here?" Damien quickly directed the guests and film crew to wait in the living room. But when they tried to enter, the servants blocked their way. "The Crown Prince's orders. These people are not to enter. Please wait outside." The same people who'd been fawning over Damien all day now glared at him resentfully. Damien froze momentarily before trying to smooth things over. This must be a misunderstanding. Someone of his status is naturally cautious. Let me talk to him about receiving everyone. He turned to one of the guests. "Could you find Ethan? Once eldest brother hears about him hitting Theo, and with actress Naomi sure to complain." Leonard, who had been listening, looked puzzled. "Ethan? Isn't that the Crown Prince's name?" Damien panicked but quickly recovered. "Oh, what a coincidence. A mere actor couldn't possibly be the Crown Prince." With that, he straightened his clothes and strode confidently into the manor. Leonard felt uneasy. He pulled the director aside and watched the footage from the past 2 days. His face darkened with each passing moment. Could that man really be the Crown Prince? Leonard rarely followed entertainment news, so he had no idea his son had created such a mess. Meanwhile, Damien walked through the manor, his expression a mix of anxiety and excitement. He was finally about to get everything he'd always wanted, or so he thought. Standing there, Damien's mind raced with visions of his future, the wealth, the power, and most importantly, Naomi by his side. All he needed was to win over the eldest brother. A servant led him to the grand hall, where I waited with my back turned, listening as he introduced himself just like last night, his voice dripping with that same fake politeness hiding his arrogance. The moment I turned around, I watched the color drain from Damien's face. His shock quickly turned to rage. "Ethan, you worthless nobody," he snarled, dropping his polite act completely. "Do you have any idea where you are? You won't make it out of here alive." I understood his fury perfectly. His precious Ethan bloodline was his greatest pride. And now, with no cameras around, or so he thought, his true colors showed. What Damien didn't know was that I'd already arranged for hidden cameras throughout the manor. His outburst was being broadcast live, and social media was exploding. How could he not recognize Ethan? People wondered. Look at him putting on that fake show yesterday. "Guards!" Damien shouted, still caught in his delusion of authority. "Remove this intruder!" The servants remained still, not moving an inch. I couldn't help but shake my head. "If you're so eager to see someone leave," I said calmly, "why don't you show yourself out?" Then I ordered the servants, "Don't let him leave." As I walked away, Damien frantically grabbed at servants, demanding answers. Then he spotted her, my mother, walking in with the grace that commanded respect from everyone in the room. The servants bowed deeply. Damien, thinking he'd found an ally, rushed to introduce himself. My mother's face twisted with disgust as she looked at him. "So, you want someone arrested?" she asked. "Some nobody named Ethan? Well, he just left. Come with me." Like a puppet on strings, Damien followed my mother outside. There in the corridor, he found me with Naomi, who looked stunning in a flowing red dress. She was looking at me with those eyes that could melt hearts. "The roses outside," she said softly. "Aren't they beautiful? I had them planted for you. Remember what you said, Ethan? About the 9,999 roses?" Her grip on my hand was gentle but firm, and when I tried to pull away, she held on. Her expression softened from pleading to understanding. "Fine, I won't push," she said. "Just have dinner with me tonight? I've ordered your favorite steak." I shook my head. "Can't. I'm having dinner with that girl from earlier." Naomi's smile never wavered as she said, "Then I'll join you both." Naomi pressed herself against me in a gentle embrace. "You're not angry with me, are you?" she whispered. The memory of her forced kiss from before flashed through my mind, making my jaw tighten. I gripped her waist firmly, warning her, "Try to kiss me again, Naomi, and I'll take both children overseas." But she didn't listen. Instead, she wrapped her arm around my neck, closed her eyes, and pressed her lips to mine. Damien watched this scene unfold, his face contorting with rage. "Madam!" he shouted towards my mother. "Look at him! He's seducing Naomi again!" My mother cut him off sharply. "Damien, be quiet." Naomi's eyes flashed with anger at his outburst. "Who exactly do you think you're yelling at?" she demanded. Damien's face lit up with desperate hope. "Naomi, don't let him fool you. His daughter, she's been bullying Theo at kindergarten. Bella, yes, that's the one. You should teach them both a lesson." Naomi's face remained calm as she turned to the butler. "Bring Theo and Bella here. Now." Minutes later, Bella walked in confidently, with Theo trailing behind her. "Come on, slowpoke," Bella called out to her brother, playfully pinching his chubby cheeks. Theo responded with an angry pout and a glare. Damien's face broke into a triumphant smile. "See, Naomi? That's the girl who's been bullying Theo." He pointed accusingly at Bella's hand as it reached for her brother's face. But then something unexpected happened. Bella ran straight to Naomi, wrapping her arms around her legs with a cheerful, "Mom!" Naomi's eyes softened with love as she lifted the little girl into her arms. "There's my sweet girl," she cooed. Damien stood frozen, confusion etched across his face. "Naomi, didn't you say yesterday on the phone that you'd handle Ethan?" My mother, who had been quietly observing this theatrical scene, finally spoke in an icy tone. "It's been handled." Naomi straightened up, looking at my mother with earnest eyes. "Mom, you've got it wrong. I love him." Damien's confusion deepened, and then realization slowly dawned on his face as he turned to my mother. "Madam, did you just say he's your son?" He still couldn't accept that I was the Ethan Crown Prince. When he first saw me in the hall, he must have had suspicions, but his pride wouldn't let him believe it. I let out a cold laugh. "Mom, Naomi and I divorced 8 years ago. Does she still have the right to call you Mom?" Naomi's face flushed red as she shot me an angry glare. Damien staggered backward, collapsing to the ground, shaking his head in denial. "No, this can't be right. Your name is Ethan." "Yes," I smiled coldly. "I'm Ethan. Is that a problem? Your precious Bella is my daughter, and Theo's sister." As if on cue, Theo suddenly broke away from the group, running straight for me and wrapping his little arms tightly around my leg. "No, I don't want to be a little brother. I want to be the big brother." Theo's declaration made everyone burst into laughter. Everyone except Damien, who sat there looking like he'd been struck by lightning. He couldn't laugh. In fact, he was about to cry. Every moment of his humiliation had been broadcast live online. In his desperate bid for fame, he'd asked the TV crew to live stream inside the manor. Talk about digging your own grave. The internet exploded with mockery. Then came the real bombshell. Someone dug up that Damien, despite being the 6th uncle's son, was actually illegitimate. His mother, Ethan Huan Yao, was the other woman who couldn't even secure him the Ethan surname. He carried his birth mother's name instead. She'd been a bar singer, and it showed in Damien's lack of proper education and manners. After the scandal broke, Damien camped outside our manor gates, kneeling in the rain, begging for forgiveness. But I'm no saint. The film crew descended on him like vultures, demanding compensation for the PR disaster. He lost everything, drowning in debt. Leonard scrambled to control the damage, clearly at his wits' end with Damien. But why should I care? First, he'd repeatedly slandered my daughter. He needed to learn his lesson. Second, the Ethan family had just launched a new project. Why waste money on advertising when this drama gave us perfect free publicity? My name topped the search trends. Those who once sang Damien's praises now couldn't stop talking about me. I just smiled. None of that mattered. I've always taught my children that when you're truly strong and self-reliant, other people's opinions become meaningless. I'll keep being both the Ethan Crown Prince and the actor that fans love. Theo's been extra playful lately, so I've had him stay with me for a while. The other night, I caught him sneaking around, giving me little kisses and hugs when he should have been asleep. It made me laugh. He's just like his mother, Naomi. Speaking of that troublemaker, she's been quite the handful since my identity came to light. She's made it her mission to show her love for me in the most dramatic ways possible. She keeps sending extravagant gifts, sports cars, designer clothes, and practically glues herself to my side. She even tried to trick me into going to the civil registry office. In her interviews, she spins this romantic tale about how she joined show business just to be closer to me, claiming she's been secretly in love with me all along. Like mother, like son, Naomi and Theo both have their ways of demanding my attention. The only difference is Theo's methods are actually endearing. When he can't get my attention, he resorts to pulling girls' pigtails at kindergarten. Just thinking about it makes me angry. Last night, that cunning woman tricked me into her bed, and I lost all self-control. Today, I've made up my mind. She's not setting foot through my door. Epilogue. Theo's story. My name is Theo, and I'm a very handsome boy. Everyone says so. I have a sister named Bella. It's not fair. I should be the big brother, but they make me call her sister anyway. My mom is the most beautiful mom in the world, and she loves me so much. Grandma told me that Mom and Dad got divorced because they fought too much, but I think it's because Mom pretended not to like Dad. But me? I love Dad and Bella more than anything. All I want is for our family to be together and happy. One time, Mom took me to visit Dad, and we found him talking to some pretty lady. Mom got really quiet, but her eyes looked stormy. She whispered in my ear, asking me to go break up their conversation. Of course I did it. Then the funniest thing happened. Dad got all flustered, and Mom did this cool kick-up thing and kissed Dad right on the mouth. I didn't really get why she did that, but Mom just smiled and said, "Everything I do is for you, sweetheart." "Don't you want our family to be happy together, Theo?" she asked me. And she's right. Mom always knows best. After that, Mom and I had this secret plan. We did this special high five 5 times, and each time I called Dad for different reasons. Sometimes I was dizzy, sometimes my tummy hurt, sometimes I just missed him really bad. Dad fell for it every single time. Then I told him I couldn't sleep well without him nearby. But Mom was so clever. She told him his snoring would keep me awake. So guess what? Mom and Dad ended up sleeping together while I got my own peaceful room. Mom is so amazing. She really does think of everything. But you know what? The person I love most in the whole wide world is my sister Bella. Even though she hogs Great Black, our dog, during the day and wrestles with me at night, she's still my favorite person ever. Then comes Dad, and then Mom. And now, our family is finally back together, just like I always wanted.